Ukraine just beat Putin's troops with a 2,000-year-old weapon. Another day, another defeat for Vladimir Putin's forces in Ukraine. But this time, it wasn't high-tech drone strikes, high Mars rockets, or cyber warfare. This time, Ukraine went ancient. On July 28th, on the edge of the embattled city of Lyman, Ukraine used a weapon older than gunpowder, tanks, or even the concept of Russia itself. A weapon that dates back to the Roman Empire. And it worked spectacularly. The kill ratio? 66 Russian soldiers for every Ukrainian loss. So, what did Ukraine use? Caltrops. Chapter 1. The oldest trick in the book. If you've never heard of caltrops, imagine this. A tiny iron device with 4 sharp spikes. No matter how you drop it, one spike always points up. Simple, brutal, effective. Caltrops were first used by Romans over 2,000 years ago. Scattered across roads and battlefields to cripple horses, injure infantry, and halt enemy cavalry. They were an early form of area denial, a way to shape the battlefield without needing armies of men. Today they work just as well, only the targets have changed. Instead of horse hooves, it's motorbike tires. Instead of armored knights, it's Russian infantry trying to push through Ukraine's lines near Lyman. Chapter 2. Why Lyman matters. Let's talk about the battlefield. Lyman, in Ukraine's Donetsk Oblast, is more than a small city. It's a strategic gateway, a vital logistics and railway hub in the eastern war zone. Before the invasion, it housed around 20,000 people, but for centuries, it's been a military cornerstone, once known as the Gates of Donbass. Russia captured it in May 2022. Ukraine took it back in October of the same year. Now, it's under attack again. Putin's summer offensive has thrown 110,000 soldiers into Donetsk. A large portion of them are trying to capture Pokrovsk, but others have been ordered to push toward Lyman, hoping to seize a key position that could tip the balance in eastern Ukraine. But standing in their way is one of Ukraine's most battle-hardened forces, the 63rd Mechanized Brigade. Chapter 3. The Trap. Here's where Ukraine got smart. Putin's forces, overstretched and under-equipped, attempted to advance from the Zarabets River area, aiming to capture Torska, a small village they hoped to use as a staging ground for assaulting Lyman. But Ukraine had other plans. The 63rd Mechanized Brigade created a funnel, using terrain, reservoirs, and forests to guide Russian troops into narrow, predictable paths. These became kill zones, where artillery, drones, and small arms fire waited, but the Russians weren't coming on tanks. That's where the caltrops come in. Chapter 4. Ancient meets modern Ukraine. Began deploying caltrops via drones, small quadcopters dropping handfuls of metal spikes along likely Russian routes. The strategy was devastating. Motorbike tires aren't built for rugged terrain. One spike, the tire pops, the rider flips. Sometimes they die instantly, other times they're stranded in the open, right in the middle of a kill zone. Even worse, Russia can't see the caltrops. Ukraine places them in wooded trails, grasslands, and narrow lanes. From above, even high-definition Russian drones can't detect the tiny iron traps. And so, Russia's motorbike squads move forward, blind and exposed, until the popping of tires begins. Then, the real attack starts. Artillery, drones, bullets, complete chaos. All triggered by a weapon invented 2,000 years ago. Chapter 5. Russia's Desperation and Decline. According to Euromaidan Press, Ukraine's kill zone near Torska delivered a 66-to-1 casualty ratio. It's one of the most lopsided results of the war. Even Russia's soldiers know they're walking into death, and many are choosing to surrender rather than ride straight into Ukraine's trap. Their desperation is visible in their gear. Some now wear cheap thermal cloaks, meant to hide their heat signatures from drones. But they don't work. In fact, Euromaidan Press says they make soldiers more visible, not less. Russia's troops are stuck between ancient weapons and modern ones, and both are working against them. Chapter 6. Caltrops through the war. The most astonishing thing? This isn't new. Ukraine has been using caltrops since the earliest days of the war. In March 2022, a Western Ukrainian metalworking company called Art of Steel began manufacturing caltrops. In 2024, Ukraine used them to stop Russian supply trucks. And by mid-2025, Ukraine had perfected the tactic against motorbike assaults. David Hambling of Forbes reported that Russian military bloggers were complaining as early as 2024. They cover frontline roads with spikes. We have to fly through them at max speed. Imagine what happens when 2 or more tires go at once. We don't have to imagine. We've seen it in Torsk. Chapter 7. Weaponized History. Ukraine isn't just using old weapons. It's using ancient warfare psychology. In September 2022, during Independence Day in Kiev, Ukraine lined the streets not with soldiers or parades, but with burned-out Russian tanks. It was symbolic. It was strategic. It was an example of trophy display, an ancient ritual, where victorious armies showcased enemy weapons and armor to boost morale and send a message. The Greeks did it, the Romans did it, and now Ukraine does it too. These trophy displays weren't just about celebration. They were about storytelling. Ukraine has even sent destroyed Russian gear to museums in Poland and the Czech Republic, a visual message to its allies. We're winning. Stay with us. Chapter 8. Putin's broken summer offensive. Now, let's zoom out. Putin launched his 2025 summer offensive with 110,000 troops in Donetsk and 50,000 more in Sumy. The result? Stalled advances. Over 31,000 Russian casualties by July 9. No capture of Pokrovsk, the supposed crown jewel. And in Lyman and Torsk, his forces are being stopped by caltrops. This is the tragic irony of the war for Russia. Ukraine, with fewer men and fewer weapons, is outsmarting a nuclear superpower, using a combination of low-cost innovation and ancient military wisdom. Meanwhile, Putin is forced to pull World War II-era tanks out of storage, sending them into battle, while motorbike troops are shredded by Roman weaponry. Conclusion: the past strikes back. In a war defined by drones, AI, and cyber intelligence, Ukraine just showed the world that sometimes the oldest weapons are still the best. Caltrops, spiky, silent, and simple, have become a symbol of Ukraine's broader strategy. Outthink your enemy, exploit terrain, turn desperation into innovation. As the war continues, Russia may invest in more tanks, rockets, and propaganda. But Ukraine is investing in strategy, ancient and modern alike. And if history has taught us anything, it's this: empires fall, but ideas, especially old ones, endure.